The Book of True Life, Teaching 57 of 366. The Master teaches, Exhortations for the Apostles of the Third Era, and Woe to the People. Divine Revelations, Mexico, from 1866 to 1950. The Lord says, rest a few moments from your exhausting journey, you who are traveling through the dust of the earth, as well as you who dwell in the spiritual space. As you listen to my divine word, your spirits are gradually purifying themselves. To those of you who live in the spirit, but are still attached to material goals, I say, depart from that which no longer belongs to you, because if the earth is not the eternal home of man, then it is even less the eternal home of the spirit. Far beyond, in the spiritual valley, an illuminated life awaits you, and step by step you make your way towards it along the path of righteousness. To those of you who listen to me as human beings, I say, while you possess this body that accompanies you during your earthly life, you must take care of and preserve it to the very last moment, for it is the cane the spirit leans on, as well as the tool to fight with. Through its material eyes does the spirit behold this life, and through its mouth does it speak and give comfort to its brethren. I have come during this time to prepare you and to speak to all mankind, to assist her in her spiritual development. From now on, allow peace to enter your hearts, because later on you will have to tirelessly pray for and watch over the peace of all others. You will do a great and meritorious service if you bestow tranquility and serenity upon the hearts that have been shaken by pain and sorrows. There shall come a time when you must learn to base the happiness of your fellow men upon this peace. Disciples and beginners, as you listen to my word, you feel the shadows that have shrouded your mind dissipate, and the burden that you carried within your heart disappear. It was the weight of suffering, of worries, and at times of remorse that were overwhelming in your life. Do not forget that there is no better helper for you than Jesus. Hear my word and let it inundate your heart with peace. It will be healing balsam for your wounds. My word heals, caresses, and strengthens. Learn and feel it, so that from now on you may anoint the sick you will encounter along the way with my truth and love. Times shall pass, and when extraordinary events occur, you will exclaim, "This has already been announced." You will remember what I had prophesied so many times. Relay the good news of my doctrine to all whom you are able to acquaint with my word, even if they may not demonstrate faith right then and there. Truly, I say to you, if you speak to them with love, their spirits shall never forget all that you said to them. This is the farmland I have told you about, the hearts and spirits of your brethren. The seed is my doctrine, which you must make known to them, and the crystalline waters are my love and truth, with which you must irrigate those fields. When will men feel my spiritual presence? When will I hear mankind welcoming me? You who have heard me through the human spokesman, Do not bother to look for the defects of these your brethren through whom I speak to you today. Tomorrow my word shall be written down, and the influence of the spokesman will have disappeared. This is how my word will reach all who did not hear it during this time, saturated with divine essence and purity. The only sign I want the emissaries of this message to show is the truth, which is the key, the shield, and the sword. The scholars, the scientists, and the great individuals of this time who have struggled much to attain the glory of the world will be dumbfounded when they see my new disciples, men and women and even children, humbly proclaim divine teachings, without boasting superiority and without vanity. The greater your understanding of the worth of what you possess, the more real and truthful shall your humility be. How joyous is the spirit when, upon leaving behind his human remains in this valley of expiation, from infinity he beholds that he has left a trace of light, truth, and love here on earth. My new people of Israel, who, in spirit, are the same who they have always been, shall be in charge of spreading my revelation all around the world. It will show men where they have profaned the divine law and where they have falsely interpreted my words. How will you fulfill such an elevated and delicate task? By having love and fervor for my doctrine, and goodwill to be my disciple. He who feels compassion for his fellow man, he who feels the pain of others, he who thinks of the necessities of others and forgets his own suffering, he possesses the seed, the balsam, and the nourishment. Henceforth he shall learn the proper manner of passing on what he has received from me, expressing what searches from the heart and the spirit. Study the book of my teachings in the light of your conscience. It will tell you if you are making progress or if you have remained stagnant. Do not think that the gift of love has been entrusted only to privileged beings. Know that all of you are predestined for it, and that, while some sooner and others later, all will eventually love as I have taught you. Make good use of these times of my communication and study my word, so you will not think it strange when you see those through whom I bestowed my teaching speaking in communion with their Creator, from spirit to spirit, and without being in a state of ecstasy. Elevate your spirits, elevate your morale. That has been my instruction to you throughout all times. Jacob beheld the Father's figure in the loftiest heights of the spiritual ladder. Moses received the law on the summit of Mount Sinai, and Jesus gave you his divine sermon on Mount Tabor. Grasp the symbolism of these revelations. However, where is the mountain from whose summit I speak to you during this time, to give you my law? You all know it. That mountain is perfection, truth, and wisdom itself. He who has felt the touch of my mercy during this time shall no longer sow any thistles or thorns, for the fruit he harvests will oftentimes be much more bitter than what he had sown. Consider yourselves part of the seed that I promised Jacob in his dream, when I announced that his descendants would be as numerous as the dust of the earth, and that all nations would be blessed in his seed. Today, my spiritual warmth descends upon you, giving life to your hearts. But this warmth does not cause the flowers I am cultivating in your spirits to wither. I give you everything, and the more I distribute my goods among my children, the more they multiply. I do not fear having nothing left to give eventually, unlike the rich miser. Ask and you shall receive. What could you possibly ask of me that I cannot grant you? In return, I only ask of you to make yourselves worthy of my blessings, and to ask for them properly. It has been destined what will be granted to each and every one throughout his life. While some receive and make good use of it at the proper time, others squander what they have received, and there are yet others who have not even been able to prepare themselves to receive it. And when they returned to the spiritual world, they grew aware of everything that was supposed to be theirs, yet were unable to receive nor earn. My voice speaks to all. Not a single incarnated or disincarnated spirit does not receive my word, be it as father, master, or judge. But man was unable to prepare himself to understand the divine language, despite the fact that I have spoken to you in all manners and in every language. When will you communicate with my divinity from spirit to spirit, to hear my voice within your spirits, considering you are destined for it? You who hear my voice, may at least you continue to prepare yourselves, so you may attain that grace through the development of the spirit, step by step. Do you not believe that it is the most natural and self-evident thing that your spirits may be in communion with their Creator and hear His voice wherever they may be? Much time has passed man by without him having come to understand what he has been created for. My children, it is not necessary for you to delve into the wisdom of the world to learn the purpose of your existence. Not only the scholar may recognize me and himself. How many times has the simple man who lacks the education of the world shown greater intuition of the truth than most others? That is why I speak to you in a simple and humble language, easy to understand for every mind and spirit, which is also why I want to communicate through uneducated and even ponderous minds. If, even though I speak plainly to humanity, I am still not understood, then how could she be able to understand me if I were to speak in a more elevated form? I am not talking to you about mysterious teachings. The more elevated and perfect the spiritual is, the clearer, more natural, and simpler it shows itself to your spirits. Make a spiritual study of my revelations, but do not make of them complicated theological doctrines. Since the master is simple, the disciples must also be simple. Follow me with humility and gentleness, and I shall make you the owners of the promised land, because he who walks in disobedience is owner of nothing. The more you possess, be ever more humble towards others as well. Your ears, which have not heard adulation, shall not be bewitched now by arrogance. Your eyes, which have never beheld the marvels of my creation, shall not be blinded by vanity. Do not seek any crown other than the one of the fruits of your deeds of love towards your brethren. Do not wait for more propitious times to begin with your task, because if you do not make good use of the time left to you, you will long for it tomorrow. I am telling you all this, so you will give your testimony to mankind. Do not fear if you are not believed, because the elements of nature will confirm your words. The earth shall tremble, the waters shall overflow the banks and shores, the fire shall rage, the winds shall be unleashed upon the world, the seas shall swell, and the plagues shall ravage the countryside. Humanity's unbridled course shall be halted by pain. Once mankind is cleansed of its materialism, my word will reach all hearts, and nobody shall be without it. Like a flower have your hearts opened up to offer me the fragrance of your elevation and thanksgiving, because you know that it was my compassion that removed the thorns from your path and wiped away your tears. I have taught you that, in order to avoid unnecessary suffering, you must come ever closer to the fulfillment of my law. I have told you that, in order to accomplish this, it is necessary for you to part with many fanatically religious practices, which are of no use to you. Hope for salvation has awakened in the hearts of those who have heard me during this time. At the end of the journey, I want you to experience the joy of having triumphed over all obstacles. Carry my word upon your lips, and while doing so, it is not necessary for you to use the same manner in which I speak to you. Talk about me and my work in the same manner you usually speak to your brethren, and only when you attempt to repeat my phrases should you do so in the manner I spoke to you. However, be prepared, because there will be occasions when I shall be the one speaking through your mouth, and that is when your simple and earthbound language will disappear, to allow my divine word to become manifest in its true form and meaning. Soon will the multitudes arrive, whose spirits wasted their time and failed to make use of the opportunities the Father offered them to elevate themselves. Upon hearing my voice, they will hesitate at first, but then they shall repent and pick up the tools to cultivate my fields and make up for lost time. Today they pass by those who suffer, without taking notice of their brethren's pain. But after being touched by the essence of my word within their hearts, they shall turn their gaze towards all who are in need of comfort, and they will bring them the balsam with which I healed them. They will ask themselves, why is it that before I did not see the pain in others, not in the widows, the orphans, those who hunger for justice, or even those in need? Because I was deaf, blind, and unfeeling. He who has loved his fellow man on earth, how calm and happy his life will pass by, and how peaceful will be his death struggle. But he who did not sow love along his path never had a moment of true peace, and in pain he departs from the body which he inhabited. This is the time of sin, wherein I shall demonstrate my might, erecting within the hearts of men a sanctuary of love. Man will not need to construct temples and palaces to honor my divinity, because my spiritual doctrine does not have such demands. During this time will man discover the true temple of God, wherein he resides. Because of the teachings I give you today, you will be denounced by your brethren, but do not fear, for in its meaning there is reason and truth, which they will soon acknowledge when the threat of the trials looms over mankind. All will come to understand that my love has given each and every one of you a place at my table, so that all those who hunger and thirst for justice shall drink the wine of life and eat the bread of the Spirit. The earth has imprisoned you for quite a long time, and many of you have fallen into degradation and the filth that the sins of men have created. My compassion liberates you from this bondage. The echo of my voice reaches all the way back there, inviting you to journey along the path of light. If my word has always resounded in the barren desert of your hearts, pause for a moment to hear it, because within it you shall find the crystalline and fresh waters that will satisfy your thirst for truth. Strengthen yourselves with my teaching. No longer be the fragile boats the waves of your passions and weaknesses play with. Make use of the spiritual and moral strength that is contained within my word. And truly, I say to you, the storms of life will no longer make you tremble. Behold how, instead of punishment, the joyous surprise of my word awaited you, forgiving all your imperfections, as well as my love, seating you at my table to delight you with divine dishes. Those who, today, have attained forgiveness through me, tomorrow will forgive those who have hurt them, and those who received the caress of my word, after having drunk from the cup of bitterness for so long, will journey along their path, offering comfort to the hearts of men. Man has wrested many a secret from nature, and with his science he has transformed human life. The light of knowledge shines within his mind, and each day he advances along the path of scientific progress towards a goal he cannot even suspect. Yet I cannot find love within the heart of your civilization. From time to time I come to men to bring them my law, to remind them of my doctrine, to repeat my words to them, because your science without love cannot be good, and your progress, if you cannot put egotism aside to make room for brotherly love, will not be real and lasting. Thousands of years pass between one advent of my divinity and the next, and when I manifest myself, it is to speak to you of the same teaching of love as I always have. All my law and doctrine is summarized within this one saying: love one another. The day when men allow my divine light of love to inspire their science and progress, they will transform this world into a paradise of life, light, and health, such as they had never dreamed before. Because, to the egotistical science of today, I shall not reveal all the marvels I have reserved for humanity. During this time I say to you that evil shall not prevail, for what is imperfect cannot persist in my work. Your spirits have been created so that, through their development, they may attain the highest level of perfection. My disciples will emerge all over the earth, and along their path shall the mist that had obscured the truth dissipate. My maxims will be engraved upon their hearts, just like, in another time, my precepts were engraved upon stone. My people, here is the light. Satiate yourselves with it. But before that, destroy the garment of materialism that enveloped you, which shall never again cover your spirits. Not all of humanity will purify itself through spiritualization, for the elements of nature shall deliver justice upon the new Sodom and Gomorrah, to prepare the earth for the new generations. Noah's flood, which had cleansed the earth of human impurities, and the fire that rained down upon Sodom. Nowadays, you know these events as legends. Nonetheless will you experience how humanity trembles during this time, as the earth is shaken by the forces of air, water, and fire. However, once again I shall send you an ark, which is my law, so that those who enter it may be saved. Not all of those who say, Father, Father, during the hour of trials will love me. Rather, only those who always practice my love towards their fellow man shall be saved. Beloved disciples, all of you who follow me, may your footsteps shine in spirit amidst the shadows of the night, so they may trace a path of light that will guide those who have lost their way. Even before you had thought of coming into my presence to hear me, I have been within your hearts, and I have communicated with your spirits, for it is them who I truly seek. It is my will for men to pull themselves together during this time, for them to leave behind their lethargy, and depart from the perverse and frivolous world they have created. I want you to be the disciples of the Holy Spirit. Make sure that harmony reigns between the spirit and the physical body, so you may easily comply with my instructions. Make the body yield, but do it in a loving manner, and only use force if necessary. However, be careful to not allow fanaticism to blind you, so you will not be cruel to the shell you inhabit. Transform your being into a single will. This is not the time to remain at a standstill or fall asleep. Notice that there is something stronger than you keeping you awake, be it a spiritual uneasiness or a physical pain. Only while being awake will you be able to perceive my inspirations, for the spirits of those who sleep become unresponsive and can neither see the light nor comprehend life, because their eyes will be closed to the truth. There are many who are just waiting for a word, so they may come to me. And thus I am preparing you and sending you out into the countryside, to give them the good news. That is why I place those who thirst along your path, so you may offer them this water that truly quenches one's thirst. I have taught you not to behave like the rich miser, who hides his treasure from the sight of strangers. For you know that this gift you now possess is not only meant for you, but rather for all those who are in need of it. It is my will that my word resounds all over the world, first through the spokesman and then through my emissaries. The few years that remain for me to deliver you my word, you shall see pass by as if they were but an instant. Enjoy and keep my word safe, so that, following my departure, you will make it known in all its purity. Do not allow the year 1950 to consternate you because you are unprepared. Do not wait until then to make up for lost time. Set out now, study and make good use of my teachings, for then you will not go astray. Persevere in active brotherly love. Do not get hung up on the mote within your brother's eye, and do not turn away from the lepers, because I led them onto your path, so you may heal them. I come to save you, to call upon all of you. I wish to gather you around my word. I want for you to reach the end of your journey with humility and obedience. The path is strewn with trials. Every one of them is a step forward to the summit of the mountain, or another rung up the ladder of perfection. Move forward with your sight fixed upon infinity. I bless those who have sacrificed themselves for their fellow men, those who have renounced the pleasures of the world to comfort those who suffer. I want that your examples be written down within the book of eternity, examples which men require to pull themselves together and follow me. I am delivering the light to humanity, because her science will not save her, and she finds herself amidst a raging sea. However, I shall rescue the castaways, to convert them into fishermen, and I shall give them a boat, so they will bring hope and salvation to the lost. These shall be the disciples of the third era, the new fishers of men, who will have my teachings as a guide, and, as an example and stimulant, the life and deeds of my apostles of the second era. Watch and pray, disciples, and do so while united in spirit, for then you shall feel my peace. If gossip and derogatory judgment pursue you, shut your ears, because those things are not lethal. If you comply with my divine teachings, you will receive tokens of gratitude and respect along your path, and these will reinvigorate and encourage you. The more you work, the shorter will time and the path appear to you. When the world causes you pain, and you understand that nobody in it will comfort you, leave your grievance with me, and I shall comfort you. All of you carry my light within your conscience, that divine spark which never goes out. But while this light illuminates the hearts of some, others who have been rebelling against that light are enveloped in darkness. I receive all, and I welcome you at this table of love. When you drink of this wine and eat of this bread, you shall remember my maxims. Feast on this banquet, because you may not always enjoy it. Satisfy your hunger and quench your thirst forevermore, because soon you shall travel the long road, and you will require courage and fortitude for both body and spirit. Like a thief have I entered your hearts during this time, surprising some and awakening others, telling you, "Here is your master, listen to him and purify your life, so you may give testimony of my coming with your deeds." If this is not done, my word and communication through the human spokesman will be mocked and denied. Do what you must, so your deeds may inspire repentance in the sinners, and that their lips, which have only known blasphemy, may utter my name with love. I place my word upon your lips, so you may save the one who has lost his way. Even though men have made of this earth a world of filth and wickedness, through your efforts and merits, it will be transformed into a world of peace and spiritualization, and you shall have my support at every step of the way. Woe to humanity if mercy and brotherly love will not finally emerge from her heart. Woe to men if they will not come to understand the evil of their deeds. Their own hands unleash the fury of the elements upon themselves, attempting to pour the contents of the cup of bitterness and pain upon all nations. Yet, even when they experience the dire consequences of their actions, there will still be some who say, "It is a punishment from God." I have only given you proof of my love. I sent you to earth, a fertile mother, loving and tender. I gave you the fire of life, the air which is the breath of life of the Creator, and the water which is fertility and refreshment. But you have used all these things to sow destruction and death. Everything has been profaned, and it will continue to happen. Your rivers will turn to blood, your fire shall serve extermination. The air will be saturated with the stench of death, and the entire earth will suffer tremors. During the hour of justice, many will tell me, "Lord, forgive me. I have had a blindfold over my eyes." I will forgive them, and I will let them know that, during this time, nobody will remain ignorant in spirit. As owner of everything created, I must demand reparations for all that has transpired on earth. Then you will realize that nothing escapes my penetrating gaze, and nothing is erased from the book of true life. Let the Master enter your hearts. Invite me into your home. Allow me to live with you. The following words are directed at all the peoples of the earth. Have mercy on your brethren and yourselves, so you may destroy the menace looming over humanity. With just a bit of goodwill, you will be able to attain peace even in the most trying times. I have been knocking at your door for a long time. Recognize my knock by its gentle nature. Do not fall into spiritual lethargy, so that when you finally open the door, it will not be the hand of death that knocked. The times announced by Christ through his apostle John and the prophets are here. In the eyes of men, these times have taken a long while to come to pass. But I tell you, when looking at it from the viewpoint of eternity, merely a moment has passed. Remember, you were told that those who remained faithful to my law of love until the very end would be saved. Watch, pray, and persevere in righteousness, so you will not perish in this churning sea of passions, desperation, and death. My divine law is with everyone during the hour of judgment, and my love is with you eternally. My peace be with you.